What if Satoshi Nakamoto wanted to take 2 years off from work and made a side deal with one of his friends and said, I'm going to mine this thing called Bitcoin, and I'll give you 5% of whatever I mine in exchange for giving me 2 years' salary so I can go and work on this? Guess that's kind of a ICO. Guess it's kind of a pre-sale.
Crypto family, welcome back to the channel. Aaron here from the Bitcoin Bros coming back at you with another cryptocurrency video today. And as you just saw in that clip there, that was Charles Hoskinson talking about Satoshi Nakamoto. So Charles is upset because the SEC is targeting Cardano. He's blasting Bitcoin's decentralization. He's basically saying, hey, Cardano is just like Bitcoin, so why is the SEC targeting ADA as a security? He's highly upset. We're going to be checking out a clip where he talks about all of this. I want to get your guys' thoughts. Put it in the comment section below. He's really mad at Gary Gensler, as we can see right there. But like I said, I know your guys' thoughts. The Bitcoin Bros don't agree with everything Charles says in today's video. You know, he's attacking some of the Bitcoin maximalists, and sometimes the Bitcoin maximalists, they are hard on the altcoiners. They say all the altcoins are scams. The Bitcoin Bros don't agree with that. We believe that there are some altcoins out there that have a lot of value, but a lot of altcoins are scams. And we believe Bitcoin is different from the rest of every other crypto, but Charles would disagree with that, and he's going to be talking about that here in the next clip. I want to play this for you guys, a different perspective. Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and check it out here.
We have a bizarre situation in the cryptocurrency space right now where absurdity seems to exist and maximalism is at an all-time high. You know, when I entered the space a very long time ago, Bitcoin was very small. There was really no substantive altcoin market, and everybody was very collegial. And we had, relatively speaking, good relationships with each other. Mining was done with GPUs or CPUs, depending upon the era. And there wasn't really no notion of exchanges, liquidity, these things. People trade on PowerPoints. People would buy Bitcoin through PayPal. We had things like BitMint, and it was like buying Xbox for Bitcoin, these types of things. Satoshi would talk about Namecoin and other things and say, hey, look at this innovation and look at these diversities, and try to keep the main chain a bit ideologically pure for purpose and make sure it didn't get overloaded. The reason Satoshi stayed anonymous, by his own admission, was the legal ambiguity of issuing a currency. In the United States, things like Liberty Dollar, and a lot of people who had attempted, like the Ron Paul dollars, for example, the silver coins that were minted back in 2008, they didn't fare so well. And it is an ambiguous thing when somebody creates a digital asset and distributes that digital asset. And the unescapable reality that the Bitcoin maximalists cannot accept, but they believe it's immaculate conception, is that on day one, Satoshi had 100% of the hash power and complete and absolute control of the Bitcoin network. There was no notion of a fair launch. There couldn't have been. No one had the technical sophistication, as evidenced by the fact that it took Hal Finney, a deeply technical person, multiple tries to get a Bitcoin node working properly and sending transactions. So at least some of the Bitcoin issued through the mining process were done in a completely centralized way, because only one actor mined them and had complete control over the network, and at any given time could have made arbitrary decisions to change that network in any way. Now they say, well, hang on a second here. It's now decentralized, and Bitcoin is a broad protocol, and there's many people, and there's many different actors, and no one person has that kind of influence over the system. That's a true statement. So then why is it the case that every single coin in the altcoin space, if they like to call us that, the altcoin space, that has those same facts and circumstances is always a security, always centralized, always a shitcoin, always a scam? Bitcoin's changed a lot. It went from a collegial environment where people were having fun and it's cool and interesting, and we'd all go to Bitcoin Talk and talk about our projects and various things, to almost a cult where a group of people say a bunch of things. One is that everything but Bitcoin is a scam. Anyone who works outside of Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency industry is a criminal or misguided. There's no innovation except for Bitcoin. The only asset long term that'll have any value is Bitcoin. Everything else is a security. Everything else is an illegal asset, and the people behind it need to be thrown into jail. These are statements made on a regular basis by Max Keiser, by many people in the Bitcoin ecosystem. And they wear these statements proudly. They call us shitcoiners. Outside of the absurdity of it, outside of just the sheer madness of such a reality, such a statement, these types of things, and the misinformation that's spread, it also escapes the reality that a sole operator controlled the Bitcoin network for a non-trivial amount of time and has likely 8 to 10% of the entire supply. That's just an inescapable fact. It also completely belies the absurdity of registration. So they say you can't register Bitcoin as a security because it's not clear who would register. So let's say, for the sake of the argument, that you say Ethereum is a security. Who would register? Is it the Ethereum Foundation, Vitalik Buterin? Okay, well, what if they just disappear? Do we honestly believe for a moment that Ethereum would just go away? Do we honestly believe for a moment the people who have devoted their lives and efforts and billions of dollars of capital and built businesses on Ethereum would say, well, foundation's gone, let's just pack up shop and go home? No, we know that it's sufficiently decentralized that such a protocol would endure, which was the entire argument that the SEC had about the nature of Ethereum not being a security. It serves no policy consideration and it's sufficiently decentralized. So then that seems to be some sort of strange standard. And the problem we have as an industry is that it's not equally applied. There is no objectivity behind it. And no one has taken the time to clearly differentiate the operational reality of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, or other tokens and coins. It's a completely milky water. And every single day, we're at a complete loss where things are simultaneously a currency, a commodity, a security, subject to regulation, not subject to regulation, subject to registration, not subject to registration. And it's not even clear how these things would operate. And there's so many great people who wake up every single day who all they want to do is innovate and build, whether it be people doing research with zero knowledge cryptography, whether it be people who do great research in consensus and come up with completely new protocols, new BFT protocols, new proof of stake protocols, enhancements to proof of work, new ways of incentivizing people to provide decentralized storage, new network stacks, new ways of thinking about Byzantine resistance and peer-to-peer, new ways of thinking about using the blockchain to do things that we never intended it to do, whatever that might be. Every single one of those people, by the Bitcoin maximalists, are called criminals, evil, stupid, misguided, and there's no advancement from them. I'm told repeatedly that we just need to all get along. And you have to really ask yourself, if one group of people are saying, let's work together, and another group of people are saying that group of people are evil, stupid criminals whose only purpose is to defraud others, how exactly do we have a copacetic working relationship? And why would we want to work with that group of people? Why would we wake up every day and say, those are our people too? Let's be very clear. There are companies and members of the Bitcoin space that have actively lobbied Congress and the US federal government to criminalize altcoins. That's a fact. I know that for a fact. I've spoken with staff of lawmakers who that same day spoke to members of the Bitcoin community, prominent influencers, who literally just had a meeting where they were told everything but Bitcoin should be made illegal in the United States. And yet we're told, let's just all get along. There's no way to get along on that facts and circumstances. As with all these projects, they tend to start with a small group of people, all open source projects, almost every single one, whether it be Linux with Linus Torvalds or Rich Hickey with Cloture, any usual open source project, small group of people come together, they think of a few magical things, they build an ecosystem and a community, and over time, the governance of that and the ecosystem changes. It decentralizes. People leave, people die, people retire, new people come, new ideas come, and that's what makes these projects so remarkable and so amazing and so much fun to participate in, because you can go away for 5 years and come back and see a completely different ecosystem. Bitcoin was no different. From day one, it was a sole miner, a sole architect. One person had, or one group had, complete control over the code and protocol. You can't escape that if you live in the Bitcoin space.
And thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you found any value, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this. We have new crypto, financial, Bitcoin related content coming out every single day. But my name is Aaron from the Bitcoin Bros. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one, and have a great rest of your day.